Good morning. So this is Two Chicks coming at you again on a Tuesday morning, chatting about LinkedIn. My name is Chantel Huerta. I'm a recruitment strategist and coach, and I'm passionate about LinkedIn. Now, I met this lovely lady, Stephanie Wiem, on LinkedIn. We've collaborated on a couple of instances. She's a creative designer. She does all of my images, and she can tell you a little bit more about what she does.
Yes, thank you, Chantal, for that introduction. Yes, I am Stephanie, and a creative designer differs hugely from a graphic designer. A graphic designer does everything from the ground up. A creative designer just puts all sorts of elements together to make a pretty picture. That's basically what I do. I do the pretty pictures.
Awesome. And I love the pretty pictures. We do need to talk after this video to Stephanie. It just reminds me. Guys, so what we do on Two Chicks is we bring you a video once a week, and we really just run through your LinkedIn elements and tell you whether you should, whether you shouldn't, and what you should do with various of the elements to maximize your LinkedIn profile for both business and for job search. So today what we're covering...
also very much tongue-in-cheek. So our ramblings are recommendations. They're definitely not cast in stone. We're not LinkedIn trainers. We're not gurus. We simply know what works for us.
Absolutely. And having been on LinkedIn for a while, I don't want to say we're gurus, but you know what? If it works for me, it's going to work for the next person. So we're sort of gurus, Stephanie. I think we can own that a little bit.
Okay. All right. We're sort of gurus.
There you go. Right, so what we're looking at today, and I'm not even going to do a screen share section because it's really just a discussion. We're looking at education on LinkedIn, and we're looking at your skills and your endorsements. So from an education point of view, from a business perspective, if you're on LinkedIn for business, like Stephanie and I am, I don't seem to see the relevance of education. What's your point of view on that, Steph?
I have to agree with you, Chantel. What has my education got to do from a previous life to where I am right now as a creative designer? My education has always been around business and how I can enhance my business skills when I was working for someone else. Now, the education that I have, it has no relevance to the creative design that I do at the moment. So I really don't see a point in having your education on there, unless you are one of those abbreviations behind the name type of person. Then I'd like to know what those abbreviations stand for, because I'm inquisitive that way.
Yes, absolutely. Or unless perhaps, let's assume you're a homeopath and you are representing your business on LinkedIn, then perhaps your medical education would be relevant. I would like to know that I'm consulting someone who's at least studied a little bit. But I think in my case, not too relevant.
No, absolutely. But you know what, Chantal, having said that, I was reading a post on LinkedIn yesterday where a chap was making a comment on, this Project Management Institute, the PIMA or
PMI,
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. The person who is offering the training suggested, and this was via direct message, so I'm completely going on hearsay only. The person who was sending the message to the person who was being pitched, we have made a video about that, and he said that, oh, don't worry, if you can't do the exam, the facilitator will take the exam in your stead, but you'll get the qualification. So really, I kid you not. I was like, what? Pick up my jaw off the floor. I couldn't believe it.
I'm gobsmacked. You're going to have to put that to me because I've had some dealings with PMI and that doesn't sound right. But yes, you know what? At the end of the day, there is a whole host of education fraud going around. So, again, the education you put on LinkedIn, whether it's true or not, it's an indication. And that's what I want to talk about, I want to talk about from the job market perspective. If you've got an MBA or you've got a BCom and you're an accountant, by all means, put your education on and display that, because that supports your job search. So again, I'm going to come back to what I always say in these videos. look at the purpose behind which you are using LinkedIn for. In Stephanie's case, for instance, as a creative designer, her education is irrelevant. In my case, I like to put my life coaching and my NLP qualifications up because it supports my claim to being who I am. And for an accountant, particularly a CA, for instance, you want to put that qualification. So that's education in a nutshell. Consider the purpose you're using it for.
Absolutely.
In terms of skills, and this is again where I think a lot of people almost overthink purpose. Skills, the only purpose for a skills list is keywords so that recruiters and hiring managers can find you. So your skills are used primarily in the job market. Again, for business, it's not entirely relevant. But then there's this lovely thing that comes with skills called endorsements.
That's a joke. That's a joke all on its own.
It is, absolutely. So Steph was telling me this morning she's been endorsed for what sorts of things?
Customer service, customer relationship management, and business development. Yes, I need all of these skills in my current business as a business person.
Sure.
But what relevance has it once again to me as a business person? Of course, I'm going to have customer relationship skills. Of course, I'm going to have business development skills because these things are important. Otherwise, I'm not in business. I'm doing a hobby, a side hustle that actually does nothing for me. So yes, they're important to me as a person.
Sure.
But to you as the person viewing my profile,
not at all.
Not really, hey? Not really.
Absolutely. And the other thing with endorsements is effectively any old person passing by your profile can go ding, click the button, and you are now endorsed. You don't know the person from Adam. So what weight does it hold?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, especially when someone new connects with you, they suddenly endorse you, and then you get a notification to say X, Y, and Z endorsed you for customer service. Say thanks.
I know,
so the one day I clicked on that say thanks, meaning that it would say thank you, but really thank you. And it's wanting me to endorse this person as well. I don't know this person. Why would I endorse someone that I don't know just because they endorsed me?
No, absolutely. I personally think that LinkedIn needs to do away with that function because it is the stupidest function I have come across on LinkedIn. It makes no sense whatsoever. And also from a search perspective,
but from a job search perspective, wouldn't that be important? Because, I mean, if you're applying for something that is customer service related, but then again, no. I see where you're going with that.
So from a job search perspective, it is important that you list your skills. So if you have customer service, you must list customer service as a skill. But being endorsed for that skill has no bearing whatsoever on your search results.
Correct.
So list the skill by all means if you're in the job market, but please don't pursue endorsements. We're going to talk about recommendations. They carry far more weight, far more exciting, and there's far more to go by. You know, endorsements mean nothing, so don't go there, really.
Absolutely. And then Chantal, just on an added over there, our LinkedIn profile also make provision for volunteer experience, and it's, you know, volunteer experience once again is relative to where you are in your life and what it is that you actually want your people to know.
Correct.
So, you know, and I know that certain countries internationally are very high on the requirement that you show that you've done some volunteering.
Absolutely.
And so from a job search perspective, how do you see that?
Absolutely. Again, companies like to see that you are philanthropic in nature, and like you say, some particular countries have a predisposition towards candidates who have got volunteer experience on their CV, because that's simply their culture. So absolutely listed if it's necessary. And again, I come back to purpose. And it's the same with, you know, if you go look further down the education list, there are publications you can add. There are licenses you can add. There are awards you can add. Please don't list that you were a prefect in matric when it's 20 years on. I see Steph biting her tongue there.
And it's, you know, it's not only just the prefect in matric, and prefect in matric is a South African term, or a hall monitor, or a coordinator, or something like that. You know, when you were at school, or student representative council when you're at the varsity or something. What relevance does it have? It shows leadership skills to a certain degree, but you've developed yourself in the meantime, and you may have lost all of that nice leadership skills that you had in your past life to where you are now. You may be an obnoxious jerk right now.
Correct. But again, come back to that purpose statement. If you're a graduate and you led the SRC at varsity last year, by all means do it. But if you are in your 40s, for God's sake, remove it. Always think about relevance. So I think that's all today from us on education, skills, all the rest of it. You guys have a super day.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.